birthday to me, happy birthday to me, happy birthday dear Kalergi, happy birthday to me. Hello, you listen to Count Richard von Coudenhove Kalergi. Today is Thursday the 25th of May and it's 5 years to the day since I made my first video back in 2018, and since then I've done 320 videos, imagine that. And it's my personal protest of non-consent. And who would have thought that I would see the Kalergi plan unfold right before my eyes on a daily basis, starting with Ireland signing the Global Compact on Migration back in December 2018 with no consultation with the general public. Now I have horselips on there just as a little tribute to Johnny Feehan, who passed away. It was one of my favourite bands when I was growing up, and I renewed my acquaintance with them with this live album, which was in the O2 Arena. They were coming down the Glencree Valley there. You can see all the deforestation that's taking place with the 35-year crop rotation, and in the distance you can see the Capure mountain, and it's a lovely part of Wicklow. It's quite extraordinary to see how this area over time the trees grow and then suddenly they're cut. But also, if you're into Happy Birthday, was written in 1893 by Patty and Mildred Hill, and it's the most recognised song in the English language. Now the clown world of climate continues with this delivery of wood chippings from Brazil delivered by boat. The 4,200 mile journey from Brazil, dropped in Foynes, and a flotilla of trucks were then to take the contents up to Edenderry, where the biomass plant is. Now I'm just going to pull in here for a second. I have a little convoy of cars, I don't want to delay them. You can see the gorse is starting to come into bloom now. But yeah, it's a 128 megawatt plant was using turf, which you've now decided they would actually ban. It would phased out using turf. Absolute madness. And they imported 24,000 tons of this stuff to be used this year, and yet the plant down in Edenderry is one of the few plants that Borden and Moan is actually making a profit on, and they made 100 million in profit last year. Now, with relation to this free speech, I thought it was very interesting that the former Ombudsman of Northern Ireland, Nuala O'Lone, has said that this has the potential to cause immense damage to democracy, and that the bill is extremely dangerous. Now, I still go back to the idea of how do you police emotions and who decides what is offensive, and the freedom to be inoffensive is no freedom at all. And it appears to me that before we have to worry about the rise of the military industrial complex, the medical industrial complex, and now we have to worry about the outrage industrial complex. And so many of these NGOs are hard at work. And also, how many of the TDs and the Dáil actually signed the bill never actually looked at it, without having a good look through it. And those who make conversation impossible make escalation inevitable. Now we're coming in towards the reconciliation centre down here, and was the last barracks from Ballyboden right across the mountain through what was known as Stocking Lane, and it was called Stocking Lane because that was the last place that was stock up before the march down towards Glencree here. Now news has come out now from Wexford that the Slaney Manor, which was bought for €2 million, is to open as a migrant centre with 38 acres of land, a 19th century house, a restored castle and a 27-bedroom courtyard, and was purchased by a Dublin-based company which is involved in providing accommodation for migrants. Yet again, it's rinse and repeat. And I'd love to know the name of that company and the many other buildings they have. But that used to be an old youth hostel there on the very corner. And as we go further around the bend here on the left hand side, you have the German war graves. I must come up here sometime and do a little video, a little walk amongst the tombstones, and it's all part of this policy of, that was at the time that actually Gran Torino did a great video down in Lismore in Waterford, when Minister Stanton was there, and he spoke about the setting up of these friends of the community, so which is to lobby bucket loads of money into these areas to help integration, inverted commas. So they would deny funding to these communities, but suddenly, with the idea of a direct provision centre opening up in the area, that suddenly funds are made available for things that they hadn't had before. This little drive here will take us down in towards, and you have to watch the speed of the cars. Oh, ZV, that's an old Volkswagen camper van there, and it heads down towards Enniskerry. Now, the end of this week was the end of the 2023 Bilderberg conference, which was held in Lisbon, and yet again Henry Kissinger was there. He's been at it since 1957. Now, interestingly, Thomas Byrne, who's the Minister for Sport, was at it along with Michael O'Leary, but Pascal Donoghue was there, but he was there as president of the Eurogroup, which includes Declan Kelly, who is its diplomatic advisor. Now, Kelly was forced to resign from the company he set up, along with another Tipperary man and Uma Abedin, after he appears to have got drunk and did some quite appropriate to somebody back in June 2021 and resigned with immediate effect. His estimated wealth is to be in the region of $150 million US. So now I believe tonight now there's a protest out there in Clondalkin at the roundabout, and hopefully at some stage some of this stuff will get traction. But we need more people out on the streets. God bless the efforts of those that organised the march last Saturday. They did fantastic work, but we still need more people to come out to these demonstrations. I had an interesting chat with an American gentleman who came up beside me, and he said, "Do you mind if I ask you what this is about?" So I said to him, "I'm going to be terribly Irish," and I said, "I'm going to answer your question by asking you a question." He said, "Do you mind if I ask you a question?" And he said, "Sure thing." So I said, "Are you Republican or Democrat?" And he started laughing, and he says, "Oh, I'm definitely anything but Biden." So that was a great way to start our conversation. But he was a very nice man, and we walked together for about 10 minutes, and I just outlined my fears about how this country's going, especially in the direction towards the free speech and the dangers associated with the policing of one's thoughts. You know, so there are a couple of comments which are my own, and I'll just play out a little bit more of this. Here we go. And I'll let you enjoy a little bit of horse lips between now. Okay, so that's it, 5 years, and I'd like to thank all my subscribers, especially those that comment after my video. I always like to try and reply to each one of them personally, and I appreciate the little stories that people relay after those messages, and it's always very nice to somebody come up and say hello, and I appreciate that and welcome your thoughts and reflections over the last 5 years. It's hard to believe, isn't it? We've gone through the COVID nonsense, and now we're into this. Between climate nonsense and the mass migration into Ireland, there are so many issues that has to be tackled, and can only be done so with fair, free and true debate. So thanks for listening, good afternoon, good luck, and God bless, and I'll just keep driving until this track ends.